Hello, forever family. I'm a follower of Jesus who has been rescued from a life of loss of family members, a life in the sex industry, and abuse. I am currently struggling with grief. My name is Betty. My story is one filled with the death of first my 15-year-old brother when I was only 6 years old, and my mother when I was 9 years old. These deaths caused me to be the one that was a little bit odd, and I began a life of trying to fit in, to be like everybody else. When I was 17 years old, I was invited on a blind date set up by my brother in law. He took me to the Air Force barracks at my local Air Force base and proceeded to drink way too much for me to feel comfortable. Luckily, my presence had attracted a lot of attention from others in the barracks that night, and a knight in shining armor came forward to take me home. This began my time as a spouse in the U.S. military that lasted over 10 years. Unfortunately, my knight had some chinks in his armor caused by an abusive and distant father, and I quickly began to be abused. He strongly encouraged me to leave my job at the state and enter the sex industry, and he began to profit off all my efforts. I often worked day shifts and night shifts with only a 3 hour pause in between to keep him in the manner to which he would quickly become accustomed. My life in the industry spiraled down until I was forced to flee to the base for help. We were given on base living quarters, except for the abuse life kind of smoothed out. However, after I became pregnant, he began to come home very late from work. And when I went into labor, I had to have someone find him to drive me to the base hospital. They found him at the NCO club watching dancers and drinking. I decided to fight fire with fire and began working at that same club only 4 weeks after giving birth. We moved again, this time to a very isolated airfield in Nevada. I had another child, and since I could not dance there to bring in money, our financial situation was pretty strained. That caused him to drink more and to abuse more. One day, the abuse turned from me to our eldest daughter, who was only 5 years old at the time. He beat her so severely that there was concern he had permanently damaged her kidneys. He was removed to the barracks. CPS came in and told me that I had to leave him, but they turned the case over to the base, who put him back in my home in only 30 days. It wasn't long after that we transferred to a larger base in Vegas. And one night he was trying to slit my wrist so he could claim that I killed myself and claim my insurance money. When a friend dropped by, rescued me, and the base told me that I had to exit the base with my children. You see, I was the problem. Wives are not issued by the U.S. Air Force, and their military member needs to be at work the next day. I felt I had no value, and I felt, though my feelings were lying to me, that I could not return home as damaged goods to my family. Now, I did end up divorcing him, and I later remarried and came back to Jesus. However, it was after that long marriage to my husband and his death due to esophageal cancer, that I found Celebrate Recovery. I really didn't think it was for me. I only came to help my current husband, Tony, to start a CR in our home church. I realized quickly at about the fourth step that my past hurts were causing me to be untrusting, to fear, and to act in ways I didn't like. They had cost me relationships. Not long after this, Welcome Home began. The first Welcome Home open share group that I sat in, I wept tears of joy to hear that I was not alone in what I had been through as a military spouse. Separation from family as we move from duty station to duty station, abuse, financial woes, and so much more. Heather shared these experiences with me. The more sisters that I meet in Welcome Home, the more connected to family I feel. If you are new to CR and to Welcome Home, keep coming back. Others need you and you need us. We have done some pretty hard things for our country. It is time that we take time to heal from that effort and do some R&R with others who understand. Thanks for letting me share.